Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today and for the people that are starting to connect today. Please, if you can use the chat to let us know where you guys tuning in, that'll be great to say hi. And also, today we have a very special session. As you know, we run in these sessions. We try to do it every month. Sometimes, work gets too complicated that we cannot do it, but we try to do it as much as we can. And we love this space because it's the space where we like to share, what are the learnings and also things that happen with the creators into our industry. And we are live right now from in YouTube and Twitch. And today I have two very special guests into our call. We have Polina and Sveta that is going to talk to us today. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but you're gonna help me later. So Polina and Sveta, they have been established itself as a leading force in the contemporary art scene through their innovative work on video art and design. And they have been developed a very uh, incredible style, and they merge very artistic sensitivity with technical precision to create kind of a meaningful visual experiences that we're going to talk about today. So I want to welcome Polina and Sveta.
Hi,
You, how are you?
this is Bacon. Hi.
Uh, hey, Bacon, how are you? We don't see Sveta, but I assume he's somewhere there. Oh, wait, where are you, Sveta? We don't see you. Is that no? That is not Sveta. That's Bacon.
No, this is Bacon.
She was there a bit at the call, but we lost her.
Oh,
Uh,
uh, thanks for
and thank you so much for everyone who's tuning in. Hey, Helder from Portugal. Hey, what's up?
hi.
How are you? How are you? Okay, so I don't know. What do you think, Polina? If while Sveta is resolving webcam issues,
Yeah.
why we don't trigger a video of your work in the
Yeah,
meantime?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's jump on that. So I'm gonna share this for a moment, and let's jump it.
Hard Feelings present.
That was pretty wild.
I know, right?
The, it,
Sound died or for some reason there was. But guys, you know where to find us. Feelings.studio and everything. Sick sound out there.
yeah, so I'm gonna add Sveta. I think she's back. Yes, you're back. Uh,
Hi.
Fantastic.
thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for everyone that is tuning in. If you let us know where you guys coming from, that'll be fantastic. So you guys can hear. Someone says like there is no sound. Is everything?
Yeah, there was no sound for the tutorial.
Oh,
But
really?
as I
Oh my God.
but it was beautiful anyway. what I thought.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We didn't catch that, but we're gonna put the link on the reel here, so
Yeah,
you guys can
Yes.
hear it.
Please watch it again because sound is essential.
I know, Mo, I
I
know.
know.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. We
Right.
didn't get that.
Honestly,
Thank,
it's super important for us because, like, we're coming from background and are super important. Oh, Polina's going in and
yeah.
out.
So let's watch it again. I mean,
Let's try
like we have
again.
time.
How
Let's try again.
how about this?
Let's try again. Yeah, it's better. It's better. So let's watch the video again because I think I love the audio. Actually, I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna make you watch it again. So that's what we're here for. So let me see if you guys can hear it, because the sound design in this video, it's so wild and it's incredible. So okay, so are you guys can hear that?
Hard feelings present.
Is there audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear it.
Let's watch it again with audio, please. It's just a small video, 1 minute.
Hard feelings presents. Hard. We design to make you feel hard. Feelings.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes,
So
I know. You know what? I always think like the audio and experiences, there's like 60-70% of the thing. So
Exactly. It's 100%. And like also, as I said, we're coming from such a like extensive background that connected to music, and people from our team make music, and we always like focused on that. So it was really important for us to navigate. It's like the reason why we wanted to do the like a little bit of a classical thing is because hard feelings can be perceived as like hard feelings, like what is that, and it can be very hardcore, and people think it's like bold and everything, but also people forget that it's the two founders are actually women, so we wanted to reflect feelings as like something softer and like classical, and like, but then turn into like actually hard feelings. So yes, Bacon, you're very hardcore hard feelings. And sorry guys, he's just like sometimes hears something and reacts. But so yeah, so for us it was important to we were like brainstorming with the team like how we want to be perceived, and of course we're like very like hardcore sometimes, but like the feelings is essential for us. And the reason that people don't know why it's called hard feelings, and I like to tell this story. When we moved to the States, and it was about like 8-9 years ago, we were at Sveta, and I remember when
both
I
of you,
first,
both
yeah,
of you.
yeah, we did that naughty thing.
But you guys met there or not?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
met there, and it's like Sveta was like, "Oh, who's this chick?" And I was like, "Who's this hipster?" And it was funny because we're like from completely different worlds, and then I moved to the States with them to Los Angeles, and Sveta was at this point already producing at Silas Sveta America. So then they put us together, and we're like we were like, huh, interesting. It's an interesting match. And then, like after almost 7 years together in the States, we're like, like this is family, this is a friend, this is like a business partner, and I cannot be more proud to, to be together. So when I moved to the States, and my first year was, I didn't know anyone. So for the first year, I literally made like 200 cold mails, phones, meetings, and it was like crazy. And if you guys worked in the States, and if you don't know, like obviously I had a beautiful portfolio by Sveta, but that was it. And they say like, oh, what you've done in the States, that's the main thing. And I remember like you go to the meeting, specifically in Los Angeles, they would be like super, like friendly, and like would you would meet for like 2 hours, and you'd be like, oh my God, we definitely got the job, ta ta ta. And then like 2 weeks later, you would be like, hey guys, what's up? And they would be like, hi, well, we're moving into different direction, no hard feelings. And I'm like, I remember that thought. I'm sitting on the other side of the screen, and I'll be like, fuck that. I have a lot of hard feelings about it. So then so when we started when we left Silasveta and decided to join forces, well, like that, like hard feelings was like in the back of my mind, and I'm like, what about if we call studio Hard Feelings? And it was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, Hard Feelings, it's a sick name, let's fucking go.
It is.
So
It
and
is.
I had to take time to get used to it, to be honest.
yeah, but also like
It was
now
like,
it's like you like, yeah, but then it's like it's a funny one. It's also like, we're Russian, so it's like hard feelings. We're like, okay, so a lot of feelings, and it's nice to figure out that you can be authentic and like honest, and because the industry sometimes punishes you for being too honest or like too direct. But we're like, okay, we immediately established this as, we're like, okay, we're like hard feelings, so sorry.
and we also like we think that we can alternate depending on the client and on the situation, like hard feelings or no hard feelings, like
Yeah,
what fits
we were
better.
laughing. We were laughing that if it's like the client that we really want to work with, it's gonna be like hard feelings. But if it's like the client that we're like, we're like, okay, no hard feelings.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, and it's
It,
pretty funny. So, mm,
it's kind of like a relatively new studio. Like you
yeah,
guys, you guys been in the industry for a long time.
yeah,
But the studio itself, it's relatively new, which it's
yeah.
incredible.
We're
It's
like
like
3 years right
3 years.
now, and
Yeah.
yeah, we just like when we left Silasveta, and it was like a obviously like a difficult decision, but at the same time, like Sveta's been with the studio for like 9 years at that point, almost 10.
Yeah.
And I was with the studio for almost 7 years, and then we were just, at some point we like realized that we only want to focus on music and fashion, and like this is our core and main thing. And it was kind of like organically, but also like a very like in a certain way difficult decision. So yeah, we're like 3 years together, but honestly, best decision ever.
I know, I know.
Agree. Agree.
This.
No, because at
So
some point
so.
you need to get room to grow more. And
Yeah,
after 9 years in the studio, like thanks to Sveta for everything, and it's like a beautiful studio, and we got so much experience from there. But
yeah,
at some point, yeah, you just need to go forward, and like to open new horizons and new capabilities for yourself.
And how do you guys
This is what we did.
collaborate together? Because like from the portfolio, it's insane what is happening to you guys in 3 years.
thanks.
It's been wild. Like what happened from year one to year three. It's a combination of talents, but insane decisions in life.
Yeah, but like at some point, I remember like we just rolled out our website, and we are looking at that. This is Zhenya, our creative director. We're in Paris together,
Hiding,
and we're like,
hiding in the background.
Hey.
yeah, sorry. We're in Paris together, and like we're like staying in this Airbnb. It was like super nice. And you know, at some point when we rolled out our website, one of the people, and you know, when you're like doing things, you're like you're not focusing and stuff. And then like I remember Sveta texted me the forwarded the message from the guy that we used to work with. And he was like, "Holy shit, you did so many things," and we're like, holy shit, we did really a lot of fucking things. And you know, it's just like nonstop. So it was a beautiful roller coaster. But then, you know, Sveta got a second kid, and I had cancer. And you know, it's like right now we're like finally kind of like getting back on track. And this past year was a little bit challenging for both of us, but right now we're like back on track, and you know, ready to move mountains again.
What struck me the most, there are two important things that you mentioned. Like, Sveta had second kid,
Yeah.
and you had cancer. So let's pause for a second, because
And
those two
pray.
things,
Let's explore.
those two things happening in the middle of making all these beautiful projects.
Yeah.
That's managing life in a way different level
Yeah.
that people will think
I
it's
mean, you know, I
impossible.
think like in a certain way, we're like, I've been like very, you know, vocal about what I was going through. And Sveta was like my hero. We were doing Olivia Rodrigo tour, and she was on site with like 8 months pregnant. And then we were doing Lenny Kravitz tour like 2 months later, and she showed up with like baby already outside of the belly, and be like, "Hey, this the dude is like," we're like, "Okay, production kid number two." The funniest part is when Sveta had her first kid. We were doing it was COVID
The
time,
weekend.
yeah, and we were having
Yeah.
that was COVID, and she got we
Oh,
were
okay.
shooting something.
You want to go back
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah. We were shooting something, and
Okay.
her DP is her husband is our DP. So I like call her, and I'm like, dude, just don't give birth like at this shooting, because then we're like fucked. We have like two people out, for the producer and the DP. She's like, nah, it's okay. The next day, she's like, I'm on the way to the hospital to deliver the baby. I'm like,
Oh my god.
So I delivered I delivered the project first, and
I
then
delivered the baby. And you know,
next day.
the funniest part was that she was going to the hospital. And I'm like, yo, dude, so I'll see you on the Zoom on Monday. That was Friday. I was
What?
like laughing. I was laughing. Cut.
No, wait. It was Sunday. Sunday. I gave birth
Yeah,
on
but you went to
Sunday,
hospital.
and next
Yeah.
day it was our
They
You
had
went
Zoom.
to
Zoom on
hospital.
Monday.
Yeah.
And she was like on the Zoom with like baby, and you're
Right.
like, yo, what's up, guys? And so the client freaked the fuck out. They were like, huh? They texted me like, give us the address. We need to send her flowers or something like that. She's like, yeah, yeah, this is my baby. We were thinking what to name him. And I'm like, yo. But you know, it's like, and then I like my last year was like a little crazy, because I found out that I have cancer, but then in the middle of my like surgery, and then I figure out I need chemo. My mom passed away, unfortunately. So, you know, it's been nonstop. But I have to say, and you know, I was just giving a talk at Us by Night about that you know, design community can be very isolating, specifically moving from what we see the tendency is going from, you know, big studios into smaller studios, or people like start freelancing more because, I mean, obviously it makes more money, but just I think like specifically CG, or like any like creative endeavor where you are the main, you know, like the brain of it, it can be really isolating. And I always I like that was part of my speech, is that you need to really focus on community and you need to really foster you need to get out of your, as we all love to like stay at home and be like a nerd out and but you need to really go out, meet people, bring connections, build connections, because life, when like no one got out alive from this life. So you need to be sure that your work is like, I think we like consider our work our life, and it's like in
Yeah.
separate things. But at the same time, you need to understand that your life is consisting of like different elements, and to nurture the connections. Because I mean, I lost both of my parents at this moment, and like Sveta and Zhenya, when I went through cancer, they took over completely, and they were like, running the business and like doing things. And you really need to, and like I have like incredible friends and my brother, and you really need to like understand who's your extended family at this point. Because design, like in general, I think a lot of people, we don't talk about it, but like creating a viral CG, like, and how you sit at home for like hours and hours on like online and on your laptop is just, it's cool, but don't forget that's not the only thing that like your life has. So
Yeah, and also, things go so fast in
I
life,
know.
and it's I'm kind of related with the story of you guys, because I'm father of two kids,
Oh
and
wow.
I left the company that I helped to co-found exactly the time that I was about to. I mean, I didn't give birth to that kid, but I changed. I kind of like did a switching in life, like just quitting that, having more family, and but also I came back to do this festival that is called Off in Mexico,
Yeah.
mostly because what you mentioned about building community. I think it's so important to build community nowadays. Uh,
100%.
that I think, I mean, I don't do that in my case specifically. I don't do the festival to for money,
Yeah.
for that reason.
Okay.
My
Of
reason
course.
is,
I don't think you can make money on
yeah,
that.
not at all. The contrary.
Yeah, good luck.
Exactly, you lose a lot, but in money. But in as a result, there is a higher purpose, and there is a higher sense of belonging, and also
100%.
like meeting people like you guys, and I would like you to be in this festival, of course.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Next year, let's do it. But that's the sort of things that I think that it's so valuable, after.
But it's also like I was talking with Zhenya, and like we were just as like Antwerp. I think once you go into like building community for everyone is like very different thing. And it's okay, like some people, their style is like go out and like be with like 15 people, and like that's the way, and like being super social, sometimes you just meet 2 or 3 people in like a whole conference, but they become your friends for life, so it's
Yeah.
just like, just figure out for yourself. You need to be very connected to yourself and figure out what you really like, what you crave for yourself, and it can be very different from everyone else, and it's totally fine.
What I like the uniqueness about your studio, and this is something that I've been always curious, because we've been meeting for a long time, and like
Yeah.
specifically Polina and I, we've been talking, and then from
Yeah.
time to time we just have these conversations. It's the uniqueness that you guys put into your work. This type of like, I'm gonna say like this, like you don't give a shit about what others think in the design or something. It's just what it is, and then it's this kind of philosophy of just don't give it a shit that I love about it.
Yeah.
Like, I love about it. It's like, let's put this thing, which is this kind of like
Yeah.
red thing in the middle that's gonna that's
Yeah.
the type of process that I don't know, like if you guys can speak a little bit more about like what's your design process, like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I just give you my perspective of what I think is your design process.
I love it. I love it. Sveta, you do not look very happy. You're like, okay,
I know.
about like, don't give a shit. Okay.
What are we seriously gonna do that?
No, you know, it's like we were laughing because I was like always I'm like, oh, I'm not drama, and I'm like the drama number one. Like I'm like drama queen.
Exactly.
And I'm like every time, we have like a beautiful synchronicity with Sveta because we're like Sveta is like producer, but like creative producer, and I do mostly on like new business and development, but also like creative direction. And we literally just like I was like, yo, I have this idea, and like it's so amazing to have people around who be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like we don't give a shit. Like really. But it's also like, we're not just making it for like a statement. It's like it's clearly we feel this way, and we're not ashamed that we feel this way. And it's like I've recently been I was like exposing a couple of people who like ripped off some of the stuff that we did, and I'm like, okay, everyone's like copying each other, it's totally fine, but just like be like, okay, if you caught that someone is like doing something the same way, you'd be like, okay, yo, like just change the fucking color or something. It's like it's so like, but when the people start being defensive and at the it's like it's an interesting moment also because there is not a lot of women in this industry, and I don't want to put into this like feminist stuff. Oh my god, no, we're like we can stand up for ourselves, and we're like as strong and like independent women, but it's sometimes we need to fight for it. And I figured out if you like go back to the industry and say like this was the rape of my work, they would be like, oh, that bitch is drama, like come on. And I'm like, how does that happen? So at some point you just like even with like creative decisions, you just need to at some point be like, okay, is this what I'm standing for? Is this like a fun thing? Is this gonna influence people? But then eventually I think we never mean anything dark or anything malicious, and we've been like having fun. And I think that's important. And it's also like we always try not to create just for the sake of pure beauty. We
Yeah,
love to put in meanings in there.
yeah.
So Sveta graduated from sociology.
Soci-
Sociology.
So,
Yeah, I
what?
did.
yes.
Yeah, my first degree is in linguistics and cross-cultural communication. Then I studied at Sotheby's, like I did art and business. And I think for us, it's always important how we actually make you feel, you know?
Right.
And exactly for us, it's like it's the feeling that matter. And yeah.
And
Sveta,
it's
I was like, sorry,
incredible.
sorry, Sveta. I'm like keep on like talking, but like
That's okay. That's okay. Keep going. Keep going.
We're gonna
just
jump on
another
you.
another cider, and I'm like gonna be even better.
No, I was gonna say that it's an incredible privilege to say I have fun with my work.
Yeah,
This is something that is rare. I
a
mean,
hundred
like
percent.
it might sound, like familiar, but like if we can say like, oh, I have fun in my job. This is so unique. But
Yeah,
but
you need to be ready to like lose some people on the way, and
yeah,
that's okay. And it's obviously we were not in the position of like oh yeah, like all the time. Like at some point we were just hands, and like sometimes we would do some jobs if it's like a big job, and we're like, okay, can we'll make that for cash for sure.
no, of
We're
course,
not be like, oh yeah, it's like it's only if it's like aligning with like I'm like, okay, how much money? I'm sick, let's go. But but obviously like it's still in a on a level that we consciously think that we're doing some good stuff, or like obviously there are certain companies that we will not work together, and certain issues that we don't want to like handle or things. But I think in general you need to be ready to like lose some clients that are not aligning with you, and be like, okay, but then you're definitely gonna find people that gonna like love your vision, and just like because come on, there's so many people on this earth. There's definitely gonna be like a match somewhere. So, you know,
But
do
I
it
think
for
we
yourself.
stand for quality first of all.
I don't want
It's like,
to keep. Uh,
What did you say,
no, I
Sveta?
just yes.
Sveta cut off.
oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying that we stand for quality first of all in our work. Like, even if it's not the super creative stuff that we are imagining in our head, and we need to lean uh, and meet the client's imagination, which doesn't align with ours sometimes. But if we do it in a certain way and we are proud of it in terms of how it's being made and in terms of quality and how we deliver it, then I think it's totally fine for us as well. Since like in our world, commercial projects and like most of them need to be commercial to be alive. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Um, we need to figure out how we deliver it and still be proud of it, right?
yeah. It's
Eh,
it's interesting moment. It's like it's a certain limitations that give you another spin of creativity
right.
because you like, oh, okay, like some artists might be, and like working with artists, obviously there's a lot like that, but like also involves a lot of ego. And like you can't be a yes person all the time and be like, okay, but when you say yes to certain things, you'll be like, okay, like I hate this idea, but how can I make this idea in my style and like
Yeah,
looking cool, you know?
Right.
And that's a beautiful point that Sveta mentioned, because it's really like you don't want to like compromise, you're not like, but sometimes you have to, but like to find a way to make it feel your own. It's an interesting exercise
Yeah, you have to give away, and sacrifice some things in, in life,
sometimes. Yeah.
and especially, for example, like probably in this case, the decision for you guys to leave Silas Beta and then, create your own thing, which is some sort of sacrifice, if you want to say it that way, right?
100%.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to take the whole call for my question, but I want to open these questions to the audience. So if you
Yes,
guys have some
please.
questions, yes, use the chat, start throwing there all of your questions. Will be, incredible to have Sveta and Polina to answer for you guys. Before we jump into the questions from the audience, I just want to make a short break of 1 minute. I'm going to put a link into the chat. And as you know, we're in the HQ. HQ is this platform that is training people in touch designer and in more than 107 hours of content and courses and workshops. We have Matthew Ragan, Elgurs, doing all of this. Please go ahead and all of this kind of like a custom touch designer kind of a sessions that we have with the students. So please, you have a
Sure.
trial link in the chat. Go ahead and click it if you want to test it. And please, you have some questions, jump into the chat and we'll be happy
Come on,
to
guys, some questions.
answer.
We want some questions.
I have one question before someone drops one. Like, how do you manage to work remotely? Are you guys in the same spot? So because Sveta, you're in Russia right now, so you're in Paris. Like, what the hell going on there?
Dude,
well,
we ask this
nowadays it's not
question.
a problem, I guess.
We ask
No,
this
I
question
mean,
all the time,
we are
though.
based in,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. But like we're based in New York, both of us, but we travel a lot and still we have like our home in Russia. We are from here. So and we travel a lot around the world for projects and just for ourselves.
But like
So it's okay. And
in 5 days, we're meeting in Spain for 10 days, so it's good.
in Spain, yeah. So we have reconnection, um, physical.
Yeah.
I mean, bro. But like I mean, COVID taught us to be wherever you are, and no problems. Because when we have to be on site, of course, we are present there. Otherwise, we just
Yeah, we live all over the world, so we have no problem working around the world.
That's why it works.
Mic drop.
exactly.
Nice. So I have a question here
Yeah.
from
How did you get your first clients?
exactly. How do you get first clients? Who want to answer that?
Well,
No way. Who's
where did
the?
you? Okay. Let's go. I guess because I'm mostly doing the the business development and like finding new clients. What we normally do is like, I mean, like back in the days, I had a dream of doing Rihanna tour and the Weekend tour, which basically the Weekend tour happened. And I just wrote down a list of creative directors that I wanted to work with, and list of artists that I wanted to work with. And then I did a very, KGB FBI vibes of like sliding into DMs or like figuring out who's like, is this actually creative director? This is someone, because it's like when you deal with like that level of like celebrities, there's a lot of people who just like, oh yeah, I worked on the Drake tour. I moved this glass to the other side, and you're like, everyone did something, so you need to like really like make sure that that person is connected to that, and then just show up and be very persistent of what you actually want, and just not be like too needy, I guess. Never forget that you're there to offer your artist things, and they also need you. But then be very consistent in like reaching out and like building communication with people. So I think in a lot of ways, like when we just started, even with Sveta, portfolio really helps, but also it's like establishing human connection and like meetings and like cold calls, call emails. Like the way we got Drake back in the days, like I literally knew that Willie Perron did his tour, and it took me a year to like, first of all, jump on a call with him, then like finally meet, but he was on some meeting, he forgot about it. Then we just, and it's like it took a year, and then at some point I remember they emailed us, be like, hey, I emailed them, I was like, what's up guys? And they're like, oh, actually, we have this project, do you want to do that? And we're like, duh. And that was Drake tour. Obviously, after being like for like 10 years in the industry, it became easier because like we do have a lot of context, and it's interesting because it can come from like creatives or like management, or it can come from the production teams, and they would be like, oh, we actually work with you on something. Sveta, I think you need to mute yourself or someone. And yeah, and it's at some point they just like start reaching out. It just, what we're like really terrible at is social media, and if you can do that, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
um
The tech. I think
do you,
I like the advice on being a detective. On
well, yeah,
my
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah. Full on, full on.
that's great. It's great advice. So
Dude, this is like, yeah, you need to do that.
yeah.
You need to do that.
So okay. I have another
um
question here. I don't know if it's Beta. Can you answer this?
Sveta can't hear us, but
Can
you
you
hear
hear
us?
us?
No.
Wait. Yes.
Do you have any advice for beginning freelancers? Connect with the studios that you want to work with, connect to the artists that you want to work with, send a text to management, really polish your portfolio so it's very easy to understand what you're doing. Because I think you want to connect with supervisor of teams who would be like, constantly getting new talents, producers of the studios who constantly looking for talents. And if you, for example, I don't know, like what industry you're freelancing in, maybe like, I don't know, music or whatever, it's just you need to sometimes like it's interesting to start working with smaller clients, to, or like younger musicians to build that connections, and as they grow, you're gonna naturally grow with them, you know. So that can be like, that's what I would do if I would start again. And it's really difficult, guys. Like, I have to say, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of time. It's at some point you're gonna be like, I mean, like, I did those like 200 meetings my first year of moving to the States. And I can clearly say that by the end of the year, I was in the chair of my psychiatrist, popping antidepressant, you know. So it comes with a price, but that's the moment where you really need to balance your, know yourself really
Yeah.
well, which is kind of a like lame thing to like, oh yeah, know yourself. How did the fuck do I know myself, you know? But be very honest with like, uh be very honest with what is your message, like what's the end goal, what do you want. Like, my thing always was like, I just love making people feel like, I love that like, I see 60,000 people forgetting about everything for 2 hours as they were like, you know, raving in, I don't know, to the shows that we're creating. And for me, that was always important. That's why like realized that music and like touring might be, you know, the best suitable thing for what I want to create. And Sveta, like, really into fashion and music too, and she loves, you know, like this feeling of like you enhancing the
Yeah.
moment, like with your work. And it's like you know, like looking at the show reel without music. So it's you know, it's you want everything and you need
Yeah,
everything.
and I'm gonna add as well to that, probably rich people, right? The same way as you've been reaching others, and hey, I want to
Yeah,
work with you.
yeah,
I would like to work with you.
exactly. 100%.
That kind of like a feeling of reaching others. That's what you're gonna need, I think. In
It's true, and not be afraid of it, you know. It's like, and if they say no, like fuck it, someone else gonna
Yeah.
say yes.
So I have a question here
So,
from Franco. How do you find the balance between client needs and your own voice or style?
well, sometimes it's drama. Sometimes it's a drama. Sometimes you need to be very diplomatic, and as we say, like, sometimes you need to say yes to their wild ideas, and trust them in that, because a lot of times, for example, musicians, they know their audience better than we do. And you know, when we were doing the show for Olivia Rodrigo last year, when the first show kicked off, it was 20,000 screaming girls from the age of 14 to 20. And you know, when we were in rehearsals and she would be like, "Oh no, I don't like this." And we would be like, "You don't like, but this is sick." She's like, "No, you know, I want this a little bit like more flashy, whatever." And then you look at the audience and you're like, of course she knows her audience. Of course you need to listen to her, because she's been touring for like years now, and she knows what those girls and they want, you know. And sometimes we might be missing something. So it's just, I think, like, in a certain way, you need to figure out where your ego works for you and where your ego actually just harming this whole process, and be very flexible. And not and do not worry if something, you know, if sometimes you have a lot of feelings, and be like, you know, like that, like, okay, life goes on. We all make things that work for us, then don't work for us. Just like, don't stumble on that and just move on.
Good, good. I have the next question from Adrian. Is your studio mainly based on a permanent team, or are you open to collaborating with external artists and freelancers on specific projects?
We are open to collaborating. We coming from the big studio before, and so far we really want to keep the team small. But as we have bigger projects, we extend the team and we work with freelancers and external artists, and we love
And
it.
how they can reach
So
you? Like I assume, like if you have a link or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Instagram, Heart Studio Instagram, email on our website. You'll find the way. It's pretty easy to find us online. How do you work on combining visuals with light? For example, you can use Lenny Kravitz example. Well, it's interesting because the show, we always say that the show should not be like 100% only visuals. It should have a good balance of the visuals, good balance of the lighting, good balance of IMAG, like the broadcast of the artist, because a lot of people come and they want to see their artist, and they're sitting and like back tickets, and they can't see shit if they like the Lenny Kravitz this size. So you obviously want to see the face of the guy, specifically Lenny Kravitz. Maybe not even face, that abs, but so we always try to like always have someone in our team who does the lighting, or if sometimes we get hired to do just the visuals, and there's a lighting designer that was with the team with, for example, Lenny, which I had big issues with. So then you sometimes you need to trust them to be like, okay, like I think this is like I would go a different way, but they want this, it's okay. But the main thing that we always stand for is that lighting should never interfere with our visuals. It can only enhance, and it's
Yeah.
tricky, and that's why I think if you're curious about new horizons of your work, look into lighting design, because there's not a lot of lighting designers in our
Yeah,
industry,
it's
like
true.
good ones. It's like it's a bitch to find a good lighting designer.
That's true.
So career advice.
Does it make a big difference where you're based in terms of getting opportunities, or are studios and clients open working with remote freelancers artists?
I truly believe that the fact that I'm based in the States is a key to success, because I really wanted to be in the entertainment, and like American entertainment mostly. So unfortunately or fortunately, I think it's important to be as a starting point, specifically if you're starting, yeah, you need to be where you want to work. After that, you'll have international projects, and people travel a lot, and and the artists work a lot, and you need to position yourself as an artist yourself. Be like, okay, like my I just met at the Us by Night, I met this guy who does all the film posters for Lantimos, the director, and like Poor Things, Lobster, and the guy lives in, like an hour away from Athens, in a village. And that helps his creative process, but he's already well known, like, so before that he lived in London for 7 years. And like, I think in a certain way, which is the most difficult thing for someone who is um very um introverted, because like I'm personally, like, I'm introverted but also like super extroverted. They just dropped the name for this, but like whatever. But I need to, and it came with age, I guess. Like, I know that after a lot of like talking and a lot of energy giving out, I really need the time alone. And if you can manage that, that would be fantastic. But for the beginning, I think it's super important to be aware, just to establish your name, and then portfolio is going to talk for you, and you're going to have connections in the industry, and that's going to, the ball's going to be rolling. And once you practice the way, reaching out, it'll be like, okay, I have an idea, I want to do the Weekend tour. How do I do this? Who do I reach out? Who is their creative director? What is who did they work with before? Oh, they worked with like Hard Feeling Studio. I'm gonna reach out to them to see if there's something else popping up. Oh, they worked with like Anima, like I'm gonna reach out to them. But then, it's kind of like a training in a certain way, because after that you'll be like, okay, I want to do this installation, and you immediately going to be in the process of like how to create
Yeah.
this, instead of like, oh, I wish I had this opportunity. Just don't wish for it. Create this opportunity yourself, which is, again, I like, guys, I've been in your shoes, and I know that the like starting point is like, it sucks. It's honestly sucks. It's like you give up energy, you give up time, you don't have money at that point, you're trying to figure it out. But just as I always say, like, if you specifically, I'm talking about the States, when you move countries, and I think, like, in a certain way, like, I mean, like, I was born in Russia, but I was like all my life traveling around, and I feel that the world is, like, the world is my oyster. But in general, it's like you are open to create anywhere. But I think, like, specifically in the States, it's like the first year you just like surviving, the second year it's kind of like getting better, and like third year is like that's when it's like kicking off. So don't be harsh on yourself. Be harsh, but don't be harsh.
No, no hard feelings.
No hard feelings, but hard feelings.
Well, that's a
Um,
nice message.
oh, it's beautiful. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you. Any advice on Dasha? Amanda Trezor, Dasha. Okay. Any advice on staying resilient and keeping the fire alive in such a tough industry? Just always remember why you're there. Like, if you're not enjoying it, I mean, I also think like work is work sometimes, and it's like it's not always enjoyable. Sometimes it's, like terrible and it sucks. But if joy is like more than like misery, then you're good. If misery is more than joy, then maybe reconsider.
That's an incredible way to put it. Like, I love that. I love it. So, Sveta, I know you've been on and off. I don't know if you're still there. Can you hear us? You're still there? Yes, kind of. I don't know. Maybe she can hear us, but I just wanted to say
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
she
so.
can.
Okay, so we're out of time, guys. So, there's questions that are here still.
What's my creative process?
Oh
What's
yeah,
my
yeah.
creative
Let's,
process?
yeah,
The
yeah,
one,
yeah,
one last
yeah.
one.
Okay,
Let's
let's
do
do
this.
this.
I mean, we have I have the most wonderful creative collaborator, Evgeny. Where is he again? Here. Hello. And then, we were just like laughing last night, when we were like watching Tour Eiffel, and it'd be like 4 a.m. drinking champagne, and we're like, yo, and then like immediately, like start bouncing some ideas, and we're like, whoa, like some people are like, you have certain ideas that you create yourself, and it's totally fine. But I personally find it more fun when you're with someone else. And, we sit down, Sveta, Zhenya, myself, we do the calls, and then we start like bouncing ideas around. And then obviously we have someone who can render stuff. I mean, Zhenya can render stuff himself. I cannot. I do not render. I'll do this like terrible sketches with like, and then I'm like, oh yeah, AI is here. Thank you very much. That's for me. And then you have you hire the most talented team. And I always say that when you hire people and when you have teams, always trust that they're gonna bring something in the process too, and don't be harsh. Because I think you need to, as a like creative director, you need to have your idea locked, but then you don't know what are people that are working with you on, like, for example, when we create 3D visuals, like I have this story, I have the storyline, I have the idea, I like do the references, and a lot of my referencing coming from like history or like history of art, contemporary art. It's like a lot of my literature, a lot of my inspiration. But then when you like start putting it together and you have the vision, but when you like hire people to like, animators, illustrators, 3D renderers, and like you have to give those people freedom in a certain way, because they might turn that creative process in a little bit of a, detour, but then you're gonna find something beautiful in there. And I think we all here, like, I think like the respect within the creative team is super
Yeah,
important.
totally agree with that. All right, guys, thank you so much. Well, we're just right on time. Can't believe that. So, Sveta,
Yeah.
Polina, thank you so much for
Guys, thank you so
being
much.
here today. This is super incredible talk as usual, as always. Seeing you.
Thank you. And guys, like, feel free to reach out anytime, and like they would job opportunities or just like for advice. I'm trying my best to, like, reply to everyone. So for me, to Sveta, if you, it's we're like very different, but we're together. And she's a beautiful producer, creative producer with like 2 kids and like a mother experience. I'm this like in a certain way, but anyway, like, reach
Let me
out.
let me
Huh?
jump in. Yeah, let me jump in. Let me finally jump in quite quickly because I had no sound for all the question section. Sorry for that. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for being with us. And Paulina is totally right that we're always open for new collaborations. And please send us your portfolios if you are willing to, and we would love to work with someone who we are aligned with creatively, um and to vibe together.
I have no
So let's
doubts. I have
connect.
no doubts that someone in this call, in this moment, are watching this call and has an incredible portfolio with art design. They'll be willing to work with you guys because you guys are so beautiful and incredible. All this story that is in the back, and I'm really, I really admire you. I want to say that to you guys because
Thank you
it,
so
it,
much. The feeling is
it
mutual.
takes a lot of
Thank you.
many strong and perseverance and also give away so many things in life for what you guys are fighting right now because it's an endless fight. It's an endless fight. It's an endless fight. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Talk
you.
soon. Bye.
Bye bye.